just left the jfrej meeting, and here are my thoughts. So the thing is that they were polite, and I appreciate them for that. At some point, though, right, once I started saying Republican type sounding things, and what do you really know about what Republican sounding things means, right? I was questioning the not-for-profit industrial complex. I was like, a lot of times what happens at these, all that like, Islamophobic stuff, right? I'm not with that, right? All that anti-trans stuff, I'm not with that. But I was actually asking questions about how the not-for-profit industrial complex has a relationship with people that are elected, and how they kind of, right? So in the meeting, they're talking about participatory budgeting, and right. And overall, I think that's a winner. I think it's because the thing is that, who doesn't want to have a voice in what's going on? But the way that it's implemented over there can be problematic and can lead to biases being reinforced, right? So I told them, right, as a Republican, I would like to work together, right? I know that they actually do a lot of fighting against the Zionist thing, and I'm not going to say all Zionists. It's not really such a clear thing anymore. Same thing's true in Korea, right? Like if they just withdrew all the U.S. troops, it's possible that North Korea goes on attack and tries to reclaim, and a lot of lives can be lost. I'm not trying to be all for that, right? So when things got messed up, it created complex situations that need, that cannot just have simplistic solutions. Will end up causing a lot of unnecessary victims. So I said I want to work together, but once they knew who I was, right, I'd kind of known, right? They seemed kind of scared, and they took a lot of, the organizer, once again, she was very polite, and I don't want to down her at all, but she was kind of taking defensive postures. So she was like, oh, like, not trying to be argumentative, stuff like that. I was like, no, I didn't say we'd be argumentative. They treated me very well, though. Nice. And I hope that if any of them watch this, if they do or do not, right, and that they just really understand that there's a lot of bias that go. I actually, during the talk about the participatory budgeting, somehow the discussion became all about how cops are bad, blah, blah, blah. And then I told them about, you see how my eyes come apart when you see how they don't really track together. You see how this one stays forward, but this one kind of looks up, but this one doesn't. So that's because I had a bone shattered in the suborbital pocket right here, which actually makes, right, that means underneath this eye right here, the bone is broken down there after I was assaulted. But when I've been attacked, it just doesn't really get that same response. So I was talking about how that's, the response is not, the biases that are already installed within the not-for-profit complex that is run by the bougie class, the middle class, is not really, that means that certain people get left behind and left out. So once again, respect out to jfrej, and they have a very strong political presence. They've been doing it for decades. And before the establishment of the People's Forum, right, I know jfrej was running around. So I was trying to ask for help as a war victim and explain to them how the anti-war movement has been commandeered by People's Forum, PSL, things like that. But do they want to take on that fight when People's Forum has a plush Manhattan Midtown office, millions of dollars? I'm just a lone guy's actual war victim saying, hey, what's going on here isn't right. They're gonna, instead of addressing what I'm saying, they're gonna try to find someone else who matches my description, who will do as he's told. So part of the conversation did go to, right, there was also some documentation about something called deep canvassing. What's up, Taylor Turner? What's up, Umu? Yeah. Not sure why I have all these viewers popping in and out, but that's cool. So jfrej, yeah. So once again, respect to their work. It would be great if I could get an endorsement from them. But, there was a lot of, and I hope people at the meeting maybe see this, right? Because I think that a lot of them mean well. But you could see how a lot of people were backing up or, taking defensive language because they know they don't want to address the things that I'm talking about. So anyways, thanks again, folks, for checking it out. If you have any questions about, if you know jfrej or anything like that, feel free to just ask any questions, yeah? I could get those things addressed. So Thanks again for checking out LICGOP.com, DGL7.com. I am gay. Thanks, Taylor. Grox. What's going on, folks? I just got a bunch of trolls up in here. That's okay. I don't expect anything else. Better trolls than nothing, right? Someone's expending their energy, so good to see y'all. It's a message for review. I'm not going to check that even. Who's coming in here? It's all good. Anyways, there's a primary suspect in this type of thing, and is that going to harden my resolve, or is that going to break it? We'll see, huh? All right. So just want to document my thoughts coming out of the meeting. And thanks for listening, folks. God bless. This is the true story of what happens to an activist trying to work between the worlds. God bless.